Hey there, you're watching Go Island, where we're celebrating National Forest Week.
Aaron Vissia Financial Go Island is brought to you by Aaron Vissia Financial.
Well, hello there, you are watching Go Island. There is a forest walk about to get started behind me because we are here today at the South Island District Natural Resource Office. Do I have that right, Tracy?
Pretty close, yes. The Natural Resource District Office.
National Resource District Office. I apologize for kind of topping that up a little bit and we're here because it's National Forest Week.
That's right.
What is National Forestry Week?
It is a national celebration of forestry, and we celebrate it here annually at the district office by bringing the community together for an open house and pancake breakfast.
Now, we passed all sorts of cool stuff. There's a pancake breakfast, there was a shoot-off, a kind of a hockey shoot-off, and a load of firewood being given away. But tell me a bit about the forestry walk. What is the forest walk?
Well, we have some of our natural resource professionals here to take the public out and introduce them to tree species identification, tree measurement, forest biology, and some fire safety.
And I see Smokey the bear over there. I'm going to nab Smokey
Yeah.
in just a few minutes because I think he's way too cool. Tracy, we live in such an area that is so rich in forestry. We are surrounded by the forest. Are there people that still need to learn a little bit about this environment?
Oh, I think we can always learn more, and it's an ever-changing environment. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to come and see what happens in all of our own backyards.
Absolutely. Tracy, thank you so much for telling me about it. There's lots more to tell you about. As I said, I'm going to be nabbing Smokey in a few minutes, but first we've got a few stories. I stopped by a preschool full of students who were busy learning outside the box, and since we're on a bit of a literacy roll, I also picked up a camera and tried to chase down the Razor Reader folks. Man, I had to run to keep up. Wow, you know, last year's cardboard challenge was so successful, and I know the organizers are hoping for an even bigger turnout this year, and everybody I spoke to had a blast. So if you have youngsters, maybe even if you don't, make sure you take it in. Now, we are still here celebrating Forestry Week, and we would be remiss if we didn't start talking about some of the non-timber forestry resources. And I have the expert on that topic, Keith Hunter, First Nations Wildcrafters. Keith, how are you?
Good, how are you doing? Good to see
I'm
you.
doing well, thank you. It's always good to see you. Now, we've got something going on behind you here. What is this?
This is an essential oil distillation system for steam distillation of conifer boughs.
Now, you say essential oils, and I'm used to, I don't know, cinnamon and sandalwood. This is local woods that you're boiling down or distilling down.
Yes. They're all locally harvested.
And what specifically are you doing with it?
We're doing a pilot project with the Ministry of Forest Competitiveness and Innovation Branch for economic diversification, but also to integrate resource management for multiple objectives like meeting biodiversity. We're also looking at climate change as part of this project, and just looking at a way to diversify the forest with the challenges that we're facing, in ecological and economic.
Now, this is something that there's a growing awareness, I think, of all of these non-timber resources, like you're talking about, viable, sustainable resources. We've talked to you about mushroom picking before, but it's not mushroom picking and just essential oils. There's lots of resources in the forest.
Oh, yes. Part of this that we're looking at is even carbon sequestration. Is there a way that you can fix carbon in some of these products? And so there's multiple facets of it that we're looking at as non-timber resources. But part of it is building the ecological model for it and the culturally appropriate for the First Nations part. And my interest in this particular project is taking care of the younger forests so that we have a healthier forest for the future generations. And that gives us an opportunity to proactively manage some of the timber management for better timber values, but also for cultural values, like, say, cedar trees, for example.
This is just so fascinating to me, Keith, and we've done stories with Keith in the past. I know we're going to be out and do stories with you in the future. If there's folks out there watching this, and I know there will be, who want to find out more about this pilot project, how do they do that?
Well, they can contact us, First Nations Wildcrafters, 250-720-8907 is our office number. Be happy to talk to people about it.
And I can vouch for that. Keith and Ann are both very happy to talk to people about it. So fascinating. Thank you so much for the work you're doing.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Happy Forest Week.
Happy Forestry Week. No kidding. I got dressed up for rain and the sun is shining. I think the sun is always shining on the office here. Now, we're almost at the end of our show, but before we go, we're going to introduce you to another resource in the valley, an artist who loves the forest and the creatures in it. Well, welcome back. You are still watching Go Island. We are still talking about National Forest Week, the week that celebrates all things forestry related. We've been talking to Keith Hunter about non-timber resources. We've been talking to representatives from the office here in Port Alberni about how important this week is. And now we're going to talk to maybe a voice of the future, a teacher from ADSS with the forestry class. Ryan Dvorak, how are you?
I'm doing great, Nancy. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Now, Ryan, you brought your class out today. Why?
Well, I believe that it's important for our young people to understand the value of forestry to the community of Port Alberni and to the province of British Columbia. It's an industry that has served us well over the years and will continue to serve us well into the foreseeable future. These young people will one day grow to take the reins of our forestry companies. They will have positions of responsibility and stewardship and understanding how to manage our forests in a way that will be sustainable going forward for thousands of years.
And I think that's the key word, sustainable, because forestry is changing and continues to change. It doesn't look like your grandfather's forestry industry.
Oh, no, it certainly doesn't. I know next week we're heading out to see the old-time logging at McLean Mill, and it's a historical relic, but it is still valuable and important to know how it was done. Today they look now at more of a light touch solution on the land, and talking with the different professionals that work in the South Island Forest District, as well as the other professionals that are here representing the community forest, Keith Hunter, and certainly Sean and our partners out at GreenMax are able to give the students a very diverse view of what forestry is and what it really means. It's much, much more than just cutting down a log and dragging it to a sawmill. It encompasses the entire environmental, social, and economic considerations that we have to look at today.
Well, we are almost at the end of our show. Ryan did pretty much sum it up. Things are changing. It is a growing, diverse industry focused on sustainability. We're almost at the end of our show, but before we leave you, we've got a couple more stories. Well, that does bring us to the end of another Go Island, and just like I promised, I did find Smokey the Bear. He has a free minute. He's been telling these good folks how important it is to put the campfire out. Smokey, there's still a fire here. Are you going to put it out? There you go. Until we meet again, be good to each other.
Aaron Vissia Financial Go Island is brought to you by Aaron Vissia Financial, supporting community and providing personalized advice and service to clients since 1996. Our team is ready to help you with your financial future.